All right, peace, Ali, and I believe I'm live. Go ahead in the chat box and let me know if you can hear me. Hear me before I get started. Thank you for joining. See you on the chat box. And like I said, just let me know if you can hear me before I start. Can you hear me? Check, check. Mic check, mic check. Can you hear me? Okay, cool. Thank you. Thank you. Peace. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing cracking. Hopefully y'all can see me a lot better as well. You can hear me. So we good? All right, sweet. We good then. All right. Last two live streams, I apologize. They were like an hour long. That's not my intention to be on here for like 60 minutes. So what I want to do is lay out the content, got a couple announcements, and then for everybody live, I will answer any questions that you have pertaining to the topic at hand. About why are there so many, why you might be drawn to so many spiritual paths. And I want to start out by like kind of making it like a myth buster per se. There's really not so many spiritual paths, but there are many spiritual paths. What do I mean by that? For one, you have a soul. Most people that you see in the human flesh, they have a soul. Now, there are a small fraction of people that don't have a soul, which is another topic for itself. But for the most part, everyone has a soul. If you have a soul, then your soul has a path. So using that analogy, there are as many paths as there are souls. And I believe there's a quote like that. Paths as there are souls. So you as a soul have a single path. That's the one way you can look at it. You have a soul, you have a path. Another way you can look at it are the different spiritual disciplines, the different spiritual gifts, the different spiritual subject matters. And when I say spiritual, you can say metaphysical, you can say occult, you can say holistic, you can say whatever. I just like to use the term spiritual to the things that are unseen. But there are many different subjects, there are many different disciplines, there's many different ways of doing things. Individual paths. So there may be a path for someone that's a crystal healer, or there may be a path for a tarot reader, or there may be a path for a psychic or something like that. And under psychic, there's obviously many different types of psychics. So you can see that there begins to be a lot of different paths when you start to narrow it down with subject and doctrines and philosophies, etc., etc. So yes, there's one path for your soul, and then there's many paths as far as the different subject matters. Now, one of the things I see a lot, because we just came out the information age, is like you're seeing people drawn to all kinds of different things. One minute you're all hard body on crystals. Next minute you're hard body on the third eye. Next minute you're into holistic health, etc., etc. So right now there's a lot of people being drawn to a bunch of things. So I figured this would be a very good topic for today's discussion. So there's about four main reasons that I see that why many people are being drawn to different paths. So I'm going to lay them out. Like I said, I'm going to make some announcements and I'll field any questions. Right now, I'm not looking at the chat box. So if you do have a question, make sure to wait until I'm done. Don't start asking questions now, because I'm not going to go back in and I put this live stream notice out probably about a half hour ago. So I didn't expect too many people to be here, but hey, we got people here, so we're going to roll with it. So like I said, if you have any questions, I'll be more than happy to answer it for you. Why you may be drawn to so many different paths, and this is probably the most obvious, is you're having a past life remembrance. A past life remembrance. Now, I'm not going to sit here and convince you that you have many lives. It's rodeo. Most people in the spirituality, you understand that you've had many past lives. Me personally, I've been able to confirm for sure 2 of my previous lives. A direct past life, and another one was probably a few hundred years ago or whatever. So me personally, I've been able to confirm past lives. So I know for sure that past lives do exist. But if this says something that don't jive with you, ain't nothing I can tell you to convince you, and that's not my job to convince you. But one of the first reasons why you may be drawn to so many different spiritual paths or paths, period, or subjects or things that you're interested in is because you're having a remembrance life from your previous life. Say you spent a life as a yogi, one full lifetime where every day you did yoga. Say that was like a few lifetimes ago, 17 or whatever. You're starting to be interested in certain things. Usually the first things that come to the surface when you wake up are things that you already have done. To yoga, or you may be drawn to whatever that past life template was per se. When you wake up, you're drawn to it. So that should give you a lot of clarity on why you may be interested in certain things. You might, and let me get a little bit dark, and because I work with people one-on-one or whatever, and it's in their energy. Some people have past lives where they did like what we call black magic, or magic that you're using to control other people or harm people or something like that, or make people do things against their will. Some people, and I would say a lot of people, have either in their bloodline or past lives where they dabble with the dark arts per se. And I don't mean dark as far as like unseen. I'm talking about dark as far as, man, it was out bodying people with their magic. This with these people, they have a tendency, especially when they get into magic, they want to put a root on somebody, or they just want to do dirt spiritually. They're like, man, I'll put a spell on you. And what's happened is that past life is fresh on in your subconscious, and now you're getting into a tendency when you're wanting to hurt someone. So you're going to draw on the way you've done it in the past. You know, that's kind of a morbid example, but hopefully y'all get the point. So when you're drawn to certain things, more times than not, it's something you may have mastered in another lifetime. And just because you did it in another lifetime doesn't mean you're supposed to do it in this lifetime. Case in point, for people that are fans of boxing, like you can grow up street fighting, boxer, then you can't go back to the way you acted as a street fighter. You can't go back to your past life per se as a street fighter, or you don't get your butt whooped when you get in the ring. That's life in its proper perspective. So long story short, the first reason why you may be drawn to different paths is something you already done in a past life. Second reason, I have a list right here so I don't forget. Second reason is you're listening and following other people. And to give an example of this is you can be on Facebook, say you're in a Facebook group. This is a prime example. Subconscious community, and also the solar rejuvenation community. Shout out to Jamil. That group is not open anymore. But in those groups, there were people that were making a sun blink. I was one of them or whatever. It was challenge kind of that Master Dr. Mitchell Gibson put out from Tybro.com to have people connect with the sun. YouTube channel, I have 2 videos, one where I'm showing my sun actually blinking. No camera tricks. It's just me connecting with the sun, and the sun emits a certain response in the form of blinking patterns. I have about the sun gazing is how to sun gaze safely. So if that's that, and I would highly suggest it, if you are, go look at my YouTube videos on that. But in those groups, people were making a sun blink, or they were recording the sun blinking, and then they were sharing it with the group. The way this works, and what we're talking about, is you're listening and following other people. Say you see somebody making their sun blink, no interest whatsoever on working with the sun. Say you're in your lane doing your thing, and now you're seeing someone else do something. Now you're interested in doing it. You see what I'm saying? It's like monkey see, monkey do, or the 100 monkey syndrome. People are doing this. Now you feel compelled that you should do it. That's what I'm saying by listening and following other people. Another example, you could be following a teacher, or you can be following a YouTube channel, and they're talking about, yeah, in order to be enlightened, you need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. You need to meditate, you need to eat right, you need to exercise, and you need to donate. That's their template in order to gain enlightenment. Now, if it's not in your heart and you're just following this person and they're telling you, do this, do that, do this, on to a path that may not be best suited for you. That's where high levels of discernment are very key. Like this is hashtag sidebar. But like now being on the path for as long as I've been, and not only being on my personal path, but also helping other souls gifts and get their spiritual game up. I've got a lot of experience with this thing. And I noticed with me at first, I was all over the place, and I'll get to that, I think, the next one. But I was all over the place. But now I'm at my point where I know who I am. I know where I came here to do. So I'm very selective on what information comes into me. I don't read everything. I don't listen to everything. I don't follow everything, because I know what I came here to do. And I'll tell you a little secret, for real. Once you get to a certain level of mastery, you're not going to want to listen to too many people. Because those people become distractions. Another hashtag sidebar. I made a video talking about the top distractions in spirituality and metaphysics. And they were like, are you a distraction? I was like, that's a brilliant question. And I answered them and said, yes. If I'm preventing you from doing what you're supposed to be doing, then I'm a distraction. If I'm helping you do what you're supposed to be doing, then I'm not a distraction. You feel me? So you have to have high levels of discernment on what information that you let come in. That's why it's called information. You want to be careful what's forming from what you're letting in, information. Reason why you may be drawn to so many different spiritual paths is they're just distracting you from your true path. People are falling victim for this. And what do I mean? They're distracting you from your true path. Once again, you may have something on your heart that you're supposed to be doing, that you're drawn to. On all this other stuff that seem busy and it seems like you're advancing, but in reality, it's preventing you from maximizing what you came here to do. So let me use a practical example. Say you came down here to be a healer. Say you're a healer. You have healing energy. You heal with your hands. You have this in your heart. You know that you're supposed to be a healer. But every day you wake up and you're studying astrology, or you're talking to people about working with crystals or whatever. Everything except for maximizing your healing potential. So all these other things become distractions for you to do what you came here to do. You're just being distracted. And it's this thing that we as humans, we feel like we're not doing something productive. But what successful people do is they do things that are productive that's going to move the needle. What most people do is they're busy for no reason. And at the end of the day, you haven't accomplished anything, but yet you're busy checking emails, scrolling Facebook, checking your YouTube, just whatever, just to be busy. There's a difference between being busy and being productive. Huge difference from being busy and being productive. And I know many of y'all are being busy, not productive. I'm just keeping it funky. You feel me? So that's another thing, is you may be drawn to all these different paths, acting yourself. And I'm telling you right now, that's the ego. And let me give you a plus degree. Those are unseen forces that are dedicated to keep you stuck in a body. They don't want you to advance. So they'll put many distractions on your path. And it's not them doing it to you, it's you allowing them to do it to you. All right, and the last reason, and this is the last thing I want to cover. Last reason why you may be drawn to so many different paths, that's your purpose, your own purpose. You're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And this one's going to be a little bit harder unless you have a high degree of self-awareness. Purpose by studying crystals one year, doing the altar another year, doing magic another year, pendulums, tarot, astrology another year. This may be part of your path. For me personally, looking back, I see that all the things I was studying were part of my path. Now, one of my highest gifts is counseling, helping people. One-on-one, working with groups. I have a way of seeing what's in someone's soul and then articulating words that they understand to make things happen. I just help people. Gift, one of my natural gifts. I don't have to work on it very hard. But what at first, when I was waking up, what that energy did was it had me study astrology, had me studying palmistry, had me studying iridology, had me studying dermatoglyphics, had me studying the oracle, had me studying the pendulum. I just named 7 or 8 things that all have to do with divination. I don't need a pendulum. I don't need a tarot card. I don't need your birth date. I don't need your chart. All I need is your voice and your energy. But I had to go through all those different disciplines to spot where I'm at now. So I was on purpose, all those various disciplines, because it was part of my path and it helped me do what I'm here to do right now. You feel me? So that's the reason why you may be drawn to a bunch of different things is really pertaining to your path. All right. So to lay it out again, first reason is why you might be drawn to so many different paths is it's a past life trigger. You woke up and now you're just being triggered to things you've done before. Second reason is you're listening and following other people. And that ties to the third reason. They may just be a distraction. You may just be distracting yourself from doing what you truly came here to do. The fourth reason, the last reason, you may be on purpose. That might be what you're supposed to be doing. You may be what I consider myself a freestyle spiritualist, is we study everything and we kind of come up with our own system. He's blessed to be upon him. He studied Wing Chun. He studied some other disciplines. Then he created Dao Di, or not Dao Di Ching, that's a whole nother story. But he created, what did he create? Jeet Kune Do, which was a culmination of a various different martial arts style. So what masters do, what people that are innovative do, things that may appear this, and then we combine it and make it one thing. Okay, so that's kind of a nutshell why you may be drawn to so many different paths. And like I said, I will answer any questions you have, but also want to make some quick announcements. And y'all know me, I don't do no long commercial announcements or whatever. But a tip too that I want to help y'all, want to help you, is you want to follow your heart. That's your determining factor for everything. I mean, if you ask me a question, like follow your heart, because it may not be quote unquote the right choice now. Make choices that don't seem to fit right now, but in the future we look back and we be like, okay, now I see why I did that. You feel me? Like I'm totally sovereign. I don't work for anyone, haven't worked for anyone for over a year now. I've been completely self-sufficient or whatever. But looking back, I see why I worked at Rent-A-Center as a manager. I see why I had my truck driving job. When I look back now, I did those jobs. But during it, I'm like, man, why am I doing this to myself? Why am I here? I don't want to be here. You feel me? But looking back, you can start to put the pieces together, put the dots together. So let your heart be the judge as far as what path, what subjects, what disciplines, what teachers, what anything outside of yourself. Let your heart be the judge. Heart, be like, follow your heart. That's where we get that phrase from. That's the ultimate cheat code for real life. Follow your heart. All right. So quick announcements, and I'll run through these real quick, and I'll field any questions for a few minutes. First off, for those who have followed my radio show, Mind Right Radio, we will be back on the air tomorrow for our last edition. It's like the finale of Mind Right Radio. That's a radio show that we've been doing for, I want to say, over 5 years now. Start out with my cousin Orlando James. Shout out to him if he's watching. And currently, right now, my co-hosts are Son Sarah and Juice, and a 3-man band or whatever. But we've been doing this show for a minute. And what we're doing is we're converting the radio show over to a broadcast, a live broadcast. So this is the first announcement really that I'm doing of it. It's going to be called Mind Right Live. And it's going to take the features of the radio show, which was the interaction. Having people be able to call up and speak to us is priceless. So we're keeping that part. We'll have a call-in number, but you'll be able to see us like you're seeing me now. Son Sarah will be on video. broadcasting on YouTube, and it's going to be called Mind Right Live. Details are coming soon, but our first broadcast, we're looking at June, a Monday, and we're probably going to have to rock out on Monday for a few weeks, and then we're going to go in the middle of the week. But it's a new offering, totally free. I promise you it's going to be entertaining, and also you'll be able to learn something from it and have something to do. And last thing about that, the whole premise of Mind Right Radio, when we started it, it was about information, motivation, and application. So you're going to get the info, you're going to get motivated, but you're also going to have something to do. It's going to be laid back, spiritual fruit served raw and uncut. Spiritual fruit served raw and uncut. So you don't want to miss that. So obviously I've been doing this YouTube live thing. I really like doing it. I don't have to edit no videos. I can just come on here, hit live, and be about my business or whatever. So I'm definitely wanting to do more live. Also, if you appreciate this video, make sure to hit like. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure to subscribe. I know I announced on the last time, I really don't like doing that, but I want to make sure that this information is valuable for you. The things I'm sharing are things that you're not going to hear from somewhere else, because I don't want to repeat anything. Anything new to say, I'd rather not say anything at all. There's a lot of information now, and if you notice, I've been very strategic with the information that I've been disseminating. That's for a reason. And that leads me to my next announcements. The best way to work with me, if you're getting value from the YouTube, if you've gotten value from Mind Right Radio, if you've gotten value from my emails, if you've gotten value from my website, if you've gotten value from Facebook, Instagram, all the things I share on the different platforms, I highly suggest that you look into two things. The masterclass, SLEmyers.com. You want to click on masterclass. Every 2 weeks, I'm doing a webinar lecture type format where I'm giving out fruit. And I'm talking about, this stuff is things that I've worked on, things that I like to say I have a certain level of mastery on. And if you want to get to that spot, I'm giving it to you raw, and it's going to be very affordable. So highfalutin prices. If you want the information beyond YouTube, I highly suggest that you look into it. The master classes where I'm going to give out all my real true gems that you can take and just bite into it, and you'll see for yourself. I like to say, don't believe me, see what other people are saying. Class, go down and you'll see all the various testimonials. In the first master class is $45, which I think is a steal, to learn everything I've done to increase my psychic abilities. Need me in order to use my psychic abilities. And I'm teaching this for $45 class. And I'm telling you, that's going to be the most expensive one. So these are very affordable. If you really want to take your game to another level, masterclass, look into that. It's my new program, and it is my flagship program. And it's also very affordable, because I don't want people saying, hey, Ali, it's too much, I can't afford it. I know for sure it's affordable. I'm gonna give you a little secret. I want to do it for free, but I know if I just give it out on YouTube, it'll just be, just information. But if you invest in it, you're going to apply what I'm giving you. I'm not here to entertain, even though I can be entertaining. To help you help yourself. I don't want to see you smarter. I want to see you grow. So I'm giving you the tools in order to do that, and I'm making it dumb affordable. Dumb affordable. So my newest program, and it's a flagship program, this is where my heart is going to be at. Accelerator. Spiritual Mastery Accelerator Program. Not going to lay out the details. Go to SLEmyers.com and click on Accelerator. But it's addressing everything that I've heard for years problem with. Secret why it's going to work is it deals with mastery over information. If everybody has all this information, why do we not have more masters on this planet? People that are advancing on their spiritual path, if all the information is out there. It's because you have to trick your mind into mastery over information. It's not about the knowledge, it's about the application. So if you're ready to apply this thing, come holla at me. Go to the accelerator, salymyers.com. Lastly, I also do a more extensive hands-on work and interactive workshops. I will have one of those going on all the time. I've already had them listed. One is Get Booked. It's Wednesday. So if you're interested in writing a book, it's a 4-week course where I work with you. No, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you'll be able to be a published author. And if you want to be ranked on Amazon, I'll teach you the strategies and things you need to do in order to get to that status as well. But the Get Booked online course is 4 weeks. It's very affordable, payment plans and all that good stuff. Go to salymyers.com, and I'm working on my navigation. If you go to start, you'll be able to see the classes and events, and you'll find that. Also, numerology class starts in a month. Spiritual business starter starts, I think, in a month as well. So those are more extensive, more hands-on, and a little bit longer. Something I can't teach in a matter of a couple hours. But the master class, you'll get the fruit. The program is ongoing. The accelerator program is ongoing. And thank you to everyone who already signed up. The accelerator program starts August 1st. But if you sign up before then, you can lock in a special price. And that price is for people that have been rocking with me for years. And they've been waiting for something like this. The price the way it is. It's always going to be affordable, but especially if you sign up now, it's dumb cheap. And I don't mean cheap as far as what you get, but I'm talking about the price point. And it's also, you'll be able to lock in a discount price. And as well, you get a free gift when you sign up before August 1st. So salymyers.com, I want to see everyone in that accelerator program. There's no excuses. It's a month. You're going to get way more of that back. So that's commercial for that. Let me see if I have any questions. Make sure to hit that like and all that good stuff. All right. Okay, thank you. I'm signed up for the 45 super deal. Might as well be free. Exactly, Amir there. Thanks, Amir. I'll be signing up. Module burpee type, awesome price for the program. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I didn't want people to look at that price and be like, man, that's not going to help me, because I follow spirit. I don't listen to humans, and it ain't for everybody too. Like I said, I would love to do it for free. I have a private Facebook group of people just liking and posting and sharing. My group is going to be on purpose. I don't want to work with people that are just dabbling. 1 minute you're in the crystals, next minute you're a healer, next minute you're this and that. I'm not saying if that's your path, do you, boo-boo. Healers are people that today I'm studying this, tomorrow I'm going there. Master teachers you're following. You got all these different things. Like the dabblers, not people I really want to work with closely. I've established a track record by working with people. I know what works. And I'm sorry, most people aren't going to get there from just watching YouTube and scrolling Facebook. No offense if that's your path. You know what I mean? I'm all about free will. I'm not charging you to be here. You don't have to listen to me. I respect what you do. But for the people I want to work with, I want to work with people that know they have something. They just want to do more work in order to become greater. They want to empower themselves. Then they want to help empower other people. Those are the people I want to work with. Other than that, I have no problem just disseminating information on YouTube. Trust me, I'm about to give out information for free that you're not going to find anywhere else. But for the people I want to work with and have in my energy, I want you about that life. So you need to be qualified. I'm going to make sure you qualify for making you pay a little bit, and I'm going to hold you accountable. Because I don't care about your money. If you don't participate, I'm going to let you go. Because it's not about the money, it's about light. And I know it's a certain process, especially with my energy. So I appreciate all the YouTube love, all the Facebook, all the everything. But if you really want to work with me in the master class, serious. Saying a sales ploy is real. And once again, if not, then I have no problem continuing a relationship the way we have been. But my game, and give you even more information. For the past few months, I've just been cocooning, Spirit just downloading all this stuff. I got Evernotes, notebooks. I got all kinds of stuff of fresh content that has not been disseminated on this planet the way I'm going to put it out. So stay tuned. But if you want to work with that information with a group, with guidance for myself, you want to look into my programs, Accelerator and a Master Class. All right. Okay. I'm trying to see if I have any questions. If y'all don't have any questions, I'm good. Thanks, Ali, for the info. Okay, selfish question. Leo North Node in 6th house plus 6 life path. Your take on it? Yeah, that's not. Let me see if I have any other questions first. Which course will you be focusing on developing our healing abilities? Because there's so many different types of healers. I'll give you a little secret. With the accelerator program, there's 3 modules that you have to take before you even get to the group per se, and it's establishing your spiritual gifts. Your spiritual gift is just going to have you own up to it. Also deal with your purpose, and I like to call it now purpose. That's a whole nother thing. I got information on the release about that. And it also gets you on your regimen or your spiritual practice that's going to help you. So I said that to say, if you're a healer, there's many different modalities, but what type of healer are you? Are you a long distance healer? Or you're a healer that works with tools? What that accelerator program is going to establish for you the best regimen that you can do in order to maximize your healing abilities. So if you're a healer, teacher, you make things, that accelerator program is for you. So that's the one I would tell you to focus on. It works. The program is going to have you what I call focus masterminds. So you may have a group of 3 or 4 other people that are also healers that you'll have in your camp. You know, it's a lot of things because I don't want to sell the program. It's for who it's for. But trust me, if this is where you're at, that's the program you want to be at. I promise you. How will your class help people on their path since everyone is on different paths? Once again, that's why the accelerator program, you have to go read it because it's kind of lengthy and wordy because it's going to give you all the details. Every question you're asking me, go read the accelerator. It's going to address it. It's for you. So it doesn't matter what path you're on. That's why I said it doesn't matter your doctrine. It don't matter your race. You're white, black, Mexican. Don't matter you believe in Jesus or hate Jesus, Christian, Buddha, Muslim. It doesn't matter. Spirituality. People are putting people in boxes and say you have to do this. I'm telling you, you don't have to do anything. You have to do to maximize you. You know, it's your path. So how am I going to address it? I'm not going to address it. On a path to spiritual mastery, as long as you want to sharpen your spiritual gifts, as long as you want to contribute to humanity in one way, shape, or form, as long as you fit that scheme, then it doesn't matter what different abilities or different things you have going on. You want to grow and you want to help. It's pretty simple. We want to work with you. I made a very affordable program to do that. You know, truth be told, I know everybody can't afford my 101 services. At this point, I charge $100 a half hour, an hour to speak to me one-on-one. So I know most people can't afford that. I've done programs that have been hundreds of dollars. I know people can't afford that. I'm telling you, this is my best offering that serves humanity. It's very affordable. So if you want to work with me, I'll set it up for you to do that. And if you don't want to do that, work with me in this way. That's why I'm doing this live. I don't have to do this. I can really not answer questions. I'm doing this so I'm always addressing everyone. I'm addressing people that have nothing as far as money, and I'm addressing people that have money to invest. So this is free. I'm not asking for donations, nothing. But if you want to donate, of course, that's SullyMyers.com. But you don't have to. I'd rather you donate into applying this information. Wasting my time just coming here speaking if no one's doing anything. Once again, I don't want you to be smarter. I want you to become more empowered. Me too, I've been cocooning. A lot of people been cocooning. I'm come here to wake people up, man. I don't want to deal with no cocooners. They made a movie called Cocoon. I ain't like it. You can find the Aquarian Gospel of Jesus Christ online. Does it, hold on, okay. Why does it seem to be women seeking growth and spiritual enlightenment versus men? Very good question. And that's part of being on the path as well. From my experience, when I first started teaching, I was attracting a lot of females. And I had a mentor at the time that told me that I was going to attract a lot of females based on my energy. What I think it is, especially with females with a man teacher, is because females are automatically drawn to men that are power or some sort of status or whatever. Where men, on the other hand, are usually kind of taken back from other men that have certain amount of power or clout. So I think as far as a man teacher, men are probably going to have more women that quote unquote follow them. But I think when a teacher or a guide get to a certain status in their evolution, then men start to work with them as well. It took me a while, but now I have men working with me one-on-one in my classes. As far as this program, I want to say it's half men, half women so far. You know, I sent out an email blast, I put it on Facebook, and so far we have about half and half. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's the reason why women growth as far as a teacher, but I think on the even field, men and women both are advancing. They just do it differently. I think men, for the most part, do it by themselves or study on their own, where females more so seek out teachers and stuff like that. Not saying that's across the board. I think those are just the common things. You are awesome. Appreciate you. I appreciate being appreciated. For the place too, and I feel like I just want to shut down. So how do we find what our lane is? That's why I said follow your heart. And I hate to put it like this, but I'm gonna keep it real. Pick one thing. Pick one thing and force yourself to focus on that one thing. There's a difference between spreading your energy out and going deep in something. At first, when I was quote unquote dabbling, studying everything, a little bit here, a little bit there, I really got breakthroughs where I went deep into things. So case in point was numerology. Instead of looking at the life path, the gift number, soul urge, instead of doing that, I went deep within numerology. And when I went deep, I created what I call Tahuti numerology. What also came out of that was a book called Deity Linkage Manual, #1 bestseller on Amazon. Many of you probably have it. But my point is, once I went deep on one thing, it opened up different areas. So you feeling all spread and focus on one thing. Force yourself to focus on one thing. It's a very challenging thing to do. That's why, once again, I created the program. That accelerator program is going to force you to focus on 1 to 3 things that you're going to do on a consistent basis. Other people, with my guidance, teach you certain strategies. I don't know what else to tell you. Thanks, Ali. You're welcome. Peace. What books you recommend for the meaning behind symbols, colors, animals, and numbers? Great question as well. SAliMyers.com. I created a resources page too with recommended books, recommended websites, recommended products, and stuff like that. SAliMyers.com. Click on resources, and you'll see the resources I recommend. And one resource on there, if you go to recommended books, there's a book called Signs and Symbols. Believe the author's name is DK. That book is sweet. Symbols. A study point for people that consider themselves students. You want to get more dictionaries and encyclopedias. Get a lot of dictionaries and encyclopedias with spirituality, as opposed to authors' interpretations. So dictionaries like Signs and Symbols, which is a great book, crystal dictionaries, any dictionaries or encyclopedias, that's where a lot of your people that are writing information, that's where they're getting the information from, in the encyclopedias. So Signs and Symbols is a good one. What does it mean when you go to your ancestor altar and they break a plate? Your altar is, look and see if you're giving enough offerings. Make sure you apologize to your ancestors for any wrongdoings, past lives. Ask for their forgiveness. Also, make sure it's in the most respectful place that you have in your crib. And apology is big. Apology is big. Since I've been doing my altar work, I do what I call programming your altar. And in a book, Deity Linkage Manual, and also I made a video talking about how to pray effectively, is to program your altar. You want to, what I recommend is whatever you want, you just form it in a thank you. So if you want the ancestors to forgive you for any karma, thank you for forgiving me for any karma, either in this life or any past lives or whatever. A lot of times when you see breakage and things kind of disarray with your altar, sometimes it could be an ancestor that may not be happy with something you did in this lifetime or another lifetime. A lot of times, especially when I direct people to do this, I had a lady that lived, I don't want to say where she lived, or I shouldn't even say it was a lady, but she was experiencing a lot of breakages in her crib, light bulbs, glasses, windows, a lot of breakages. And she was a student of mine at the time. And I spoke with her and I picked up in her energy that she had some energy from the area she lived at. Long story short, she had a lot of stuff going on where she lived at. And also her bloodline had a lot of afflicted with the way she was doing her spirituality. Long story short, man, her ancestors were pissed. Specific ritual to do to apologize to her ancestors, and she hit me up, I want to say about a month ago, and said everything's fine now. She was going through her windows being broken damn near every day to everything's kosher now. So apologizing to your ancestors is big, yo, very big. Should I meditate on decisions to what I'm looking for? You can meditate on decisions on what you're looking for, or if you have an altar, you can go and program that on your altar. So using that same example, you can say something like, thank you for giving me direction on what I should be focusing on. Time you give an offering, and then pay attention to your dreams. So yes, you can meditate on a decision, what I'm looking for, or you can take it to the altar as well. Because that's your telephone to the spirit realm, especially when you're starting out and you're not hearing the ancestors speak to you intuitive as you should be. The altar is like a cheat code, man. That's going to help you out. What I noticed was by working with the altar, it helped not only develop my intuition, but it gave me a lot more direction. Because one of the things I program on my altar is give thanks for giving me direction, knocking down obstacles and stuff like that. So I have a sense of feeling guided, woke up, because one of the first tools I work with was the altar. So like I said, I've been programming it to guide me, and at this point I get guidance galore, man. Really, your path become easier once you connect with your higher self and once you connect with what I like to call your spiritual dream team. So these are deities you represent, angels you represent, spirit guides, ancestors that rock with you. Ancestor that came through that was working with me, peace and blessing be upon her, was my grandmother, Myers. She came through when I was starting to do readings, and when she told me later was, yeah, that's part of my energy. And I had to look back on life like, man, she was dumb psychic. And work on my intuition and working with people as far as reading them, psychic work or whatever. She came through and was one of the spiritual beings that assisted me in order to do that. I have to own up to my spiritual gifts. You made a statement, now do it. Can you transmit Kundalini energy if you disagree? Can you transmute Kundalini energy? You can transmute any energy. Energy is meant to be transmuted. You meditated as you typed. Of course, you meditated as you typed. I don't get that. How to focus on ancestor communication. It's as simple as sitting at your altar and listening to your consciousness. I hate to keep it dumb simple, but yeah, it's as simple as that. To increase your intuition, especially in this modern society, we got Facebook notifications going off. We got popping up. We got people calling us, text messages. We usually got a TV on, radio playing. Like we never really truly sit in silence. And your meditative voice is silent. Most people aren't going to hear beings just speak to them in their ear. Now, some of you, if you're clairaudient, I believe is what it's called, you may hear things. But me personally, I don't hear anything. My intuition, like most people, it comes in, it sounds like my regular thoughts. But in order to know what's your intuitive thoughts from your regular mundane thoughts, is you have to have high degree of self-awareness, and you have to know how your thoughts work. In order to know how your thoughts work, you have to sit in meditation. I hate to be like you have to, but it's one of those things where if you don't sit in meditation and you don't monitor your thoughts and know your thought process, if you don't know what energies are coming in, what thoughts are not yours, what thoughts are somebody else's, especially you people that are empathic, you're going to the mall, now you're anxious and nervous. You don't know if you're picking up on someone else's thoughts. You have to know yourself, thoughts process or whatever. So in order to communicate with your ancestors, which they're already communicating with you already, sit in meditation. You have to silent your mind, man. Have to silent your mind. Thank you for your time. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's a great price. I'll be affording it soon, Master. And helping us when you could be helping yourself. You're very welcome, future Master. Where it seems women are going spiritual. I feel like I need a teacher. How may I find a good teacher to help guide me mentally? I made a video talking about finding a teacher, but it's as simple as when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. If it's on your heart that you want a teacher, I would look at the people that are around you. You don't have to be someone that you can reach out and touch, but it could be someone that you're following on YouTube or Facebook or following their website. But if you really have it in your heart, like I need a teacher per se, and not, I only like to use the word I need a teacher, but if you feel being drawn to seek, then look at what's right in front of you right now. Right in front of you, you may not be at the point now where you can receive guidance from a teacher. Will you do a video about targeted individuals in a spiritual, targeted individual as far as psychic attacks? Possibly. I'm developing my psychic ability now in tarot astrology. Okay, good. At least you know your path. I'm late. What did I miss? You're going to have to watch the whole thing again. Live stream is soon when you go and watch it from the beginning, you can see everything. That's one reason why I tried to so many paths and answering questions too. Yeah, as far as the personal path, life path 6, man, I'll put out so much numerology information, life path 6, and astrology. Just Google your North Node in Aries or whatever. And my cheat code when studying astrology, and this is for people that want to study astrology. There's a dude by the name of Kapil Raj. Kapil Raj. He's on YouTube. It's KRS Astrology. KRS Astrology. He's an Indian dude, but he got flavor like a brother. You feel me? Like dude's cool. He got personality. He ain't just real dry. Like I've got you take your this or he ain't like that. He's real kind of loose and laid back or whatever. But what I did was I put like sun, moon, and Gemini, Taurus 6th house. You can put in anything in your chart, and he's going to have a video for it. So if you want an astrology reading, go to KRS Astrology, or you can just go to YouTube and put this planet in this house or this sign in this house. Just any combination, more than likely he'll have a video on it. It's a free astrology reading. So that hopefully will answer your question, Julia Tanyana. What up? Something else? Chrissy Gray, how you doing, sister? Let me shout you out. Dion B, G Light, Vinny, JB, Sister Mawu, Netter. I've seen that name a few times. Appreciate you rocking out. Thank you so much. Welcome. Welcome, everybody. I'm just going to say welcome to everybody that's saying thank you. Good advice. I have 2 crystal books. Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall is my favorite crystal book. More beneficial to put a screen between the ancestor altar and bed. I may have to install it in my bedroom. If that's on your heart, I would do that. An altar, I'm so new to this. I put out so much free information on altar that, I mean, I wouldn't even make a class about altars. Like, it's really out there. shollymyers.com. If you click on free content, I have an exhaustive article take you step by step on how to set up an altar, how to give offerings, how to burn ancestor money if that's something you're interested in. Just everything. I mean, it's laid out for you. Yes, that's how I connected with my ancestors. So it's really important to have an altar. It's not important. I mean, it's important to have an altar if that's part of your path. Like, I know people that have advanced into enlightenment that don't have an altar. I'm just sharing things that worked for me. It was pivotal on getting me to where I'm at. I can conclusively say that. I followed because I never sat at the feet of a master, but I had a long distance teachers per se. The most influential and the one you hear me speak often about is Master Dr. Mitchell Gibson, Tybro.com. Say that the altar changed his life. You feel me? So, someone I looked up to worked with the altar things when I was drawn to it. So I didn't need to be convinced. I was drawn to it. And after I did it, I see why I was drawn to it. The way I tell people is when you start an altar, you will notice something within the first 30 days. If you're quote unquote doing it correctly, you will notice something in the first 30 days. You'll get some sort of confirmation. So it was important for me. If you're drawn to it, it's important. If you're not drawn to it, then it probably ain't important for your path. Right now is for a while now, I recommend it hard body to people, set up your altar. If you come to me and like, I'm totally I don't know what to do, I'm gonna be like, set up your altar, and I'll be like, learn the miracle prayer, the AKA the Anabacoa. Set up your altar and learn this prayer. And that 1 is somewhere to start. 2 is going to take you from consuming information to actually doing something. That's why. But those are the starting points for spirituality? No. For me, and I'm telling you what worked for a lot of other people. Yup, no bull Ali. The altar is a great tool. Is there anything that we can do as a face as far as the altar goes to not attract spirits that are dark and or negative? Brandon Tober, Mo Square, that's my brother, my little brother / student, older than me. What up, Mo? Danielle, hi, sweetheart. Is there anything we can do as far as the altar goes? Well, I recommend that set it up properly. Is put your ancestors on there. If you're doing a combination altar, put the deities and raise the deities above the ancestors. So if you have a bookshelf, you have the deities at the top, you have your ancestors below them, and then your offering on either level. You set it up is you address, to the ancestors. And you also, like I was saying about programming your altar, thank you for protecting me and my family. I've programmed that into my altar for years. To the deities I represent and to my ancestors, thank you for protecting me, my family, and my home. Sidebars, so I can go into tangents about experiences that I've had where I was protected. My house damn near blew up one time, and I had an ancestor come through and give me the lowdown, or our crib was going to blow up. So this is real, yo. But the way when you set it up, work is going to keep the energy pure. Now there are times where you could have things come about, but as long as you set it up the right way and you're programming your altar the right way, you're not going to have any negative energies. Just dismiss that from your mind. And I'm telling you, a lot of people are telling you, oh, that's bad. You don't want to do that. Be careful for that. Soon as someone tells you to be careful for that, for whatever they told you to be careful about. Take it for what it, take it, you know what I mean? Take it for what it's worth. Can ancestors guide you through the dark night of the soul? That's when you ask for guidance, yo. Or is it up to clear the karma between them to clear it? A lot of things when you're going through your dark night of the soul per se, and dark night of the soul is when you're waking up and it feels like everything is going against you. Money problems, financial problems, health problems. It seems like you're just being challenged different directions or whatever. Go through that, but the ancestors and the deities, they can help minimize what's going on. So I've had to go through challenges, still go through challenges. But what I've noticed, especially when you get to a certain level of mastery, over those obstacles. That's the difference between a layman and someone on the path of mastery. Is if you're on the path of mastery, you find ways to getting over things. If you just want to be a human, you find ways to bump your head against the wall. So yes, they can help guide you path, and you have to do the work. So it's a little bit of both. Do you think practicing Ifa, Yoruba can sometimes hold us back because people get so caught up in the tradition that it can have the same negative effects organized religion have on us? I'm only speaking for myself. There's no way, shape, or form I would join any form of organized anything. And the way I recommend it is if you're drawn to, if in your heart, you like, I love Ifa and I just want to be around Ifa people, that's what you need to do. In your heart, if you want to be a Christian and you feel like all I want to deal with is Christians, that's what you need to do. Me personally, I couldn't do it. And usually the people that resonate with me are more freestyle spiritualists. Muslim, we're not Muslim, not Ifa. I got Oshun on my altar. Also got Indra on my altar. You talking about Kemet, Nigeria, and Asia. Like, I'm a freestyle spiritualist, so I'm not the best person to ask, but it seems like in your question, you answered it for yourself. Just read your own question. I'll stay away from malls or I would, yeah, I know you're an empath. I know you're something else. I don't like Chrissy Gray. I like Chrissy Gray, but I love that name, something else. How do you keep unwanted spiritual beings from attacking you? Vibrate as high as possible. I'm gonna give y'all another little secret. Demons in lower forms can attach to light. The more you raise your vibration, it's just like humans. Let me give this analogy. You got people, humans, that once you started getting on your path, once you started to empower yourself, once you started to master certain aspects of yourself, do you have friends and family that once you raise your vibration, they couldn't be around you? The spiritual realm. Once you gain so much light, it's hard for negative and dark forces to even be around you. Simple answer. Raise your vibration. You ain't got to worry about none of that. I'm so glad I caught you this early. This is that dude. LMAO at your impression. Not sure if you covered this, but how do you know if you're able to be more to the left or right dark light of a spiritual system? Ali doesn't operate in dark and light per se as far as his spiritual system. Sounds like to me more you're conflicted with, is that right or wrong? And the way I do, especially people that really work with me, I'm not going to do it on YouTube because I don't want people to feel like that I'm telling you what to do. With me and you pay me, then you respect my guidance and you're a humble student looking for guidance. I don't assume everyone listening to this are my humble students, so I don't address you that way. But what I teach my students is you want to remove right and wrong from your vocabulary. In my reality, I don't operate in a system of right or wrong. I like to say is if someone came into my house and they want to attack someone I love, is it right or wrong for me to kill them before they kill me? Is it right or wrong for me to hurt them, to disengage them from me or my family? You know, I mean, what's right or what's wrong? You know, I follow universal laws. There's laws of the universe, then there's laws of man. Laws of man dictate what is right or wrong. If you go to the universal laws, the Kabbalion, as told from Tahuti, it's called the law of mentalism. In the Kabbalion, it states all truths are half truths. No conclusive right and there's no conclusive wrong. You can make a case for either or. So what I teach people, especially when they work with me, is do your best to remove yourself from this or that, left or right, black or white, right or wrong. You know, in order to get to a spot where it's single, you have to deal with the polarities. You have to deal with, man, I was a Christian, now I'm not. I was a vegan, now I'm not. You go through these extreme of polarities till you get to a single point called balance, where you're not left or right, where you're just where you just is. It sounds real flowery, it sounds real philosophical, but until you get there, you'll know what I'm talking about. And for those who are watching that know what I'm talking about, you feel me. You just get balance. Non-judgmental, non-everything. It's just balance. It's right, but it's wrong. All right, I'm going to answer one more question. But again, in the altar, Encyclopedia of Crystals by Judy Hall. I got mad videos on altars, yo. You're welcome. Rashida. What up, big bro? Chris Enlightened. Hey, yo, definitely follow my bro, man. That's my one of my best friends in the world, Chris Enlightened. Channel, Facebook, all that stuff. Twin Flame Radio, Queen. Altars alter my life, yo. He was one of the first people in the flesh that I guided to work with his altar. And now he's an expert, authority on altar work. He's helping other people. Once again, I'll be like, don't believe me. Go to my channel, go to all the altar videos and see what other people are saying. Please don't believe me. Listen to that prayer you mentioned. How long did it take for you to learn the words, and did just listen to it have an effect? Everyone memorizes differently. Me personally, I'm not the best with linguistics and languages. A week to memorize the prayer word for word. And when I say a week, I'm talking about I was on a hard body, yo. Hours. You feel me? Hours every day. You know what I'm saying? So it just depends on how you learn. If you go to ssolymyers.com, go to free content and go to the miracle prayer. I'll show you a rendition by my brother Shalor. Shout out to Thomas Shalor, legendary rendition. It also has the masters, Dr. Mitchell Gibson rendition on there. It has the words on there. It has the translation on there, and it has a backstory of how I came into that prayer. That's tool resource for you to learn that prayer, and it's going to give you all the information. Now, how you memorize it? How do you memorize things for yourself? You know, how do you memorize the alphabet? And over and over. So what I did was listen to it, looked at the words, and repeated it over and over and over and over. The work to mastery is boring. The work to master anything is boring. It's not exciting. Why do you think most people don't do it? It's boring. It's not exciting. It's boring. Until you get into that mentality, though, and you start seeing them breakthroughs, because the reason I'm hearing my spirits telling me, the reason why a lot of you aren't having breakthroughs, you know all the information. You know where the planet, you know what constellation of Venus is going and what orbit and what moons are attached to it. But have you met any beings on Venus? Have you met any Venus? You know what I'm saying? My point is, a lot of you haven't had the breakthrough that you want and the necessary work. That's where the daily practice come in from altar, because I gave offerings every day. It's simple, man. You have to practice your discipline every day or at least regularly, or you're not going to have a breakthrough. That's about as real as I can give it to you. All right, y'all. Y'all be deep, man. Like I said, I put this joint out a half hour ago. Hey, Dana Day, what's up? All right, hey, I love y'all. Dion Thompson, hey, what's up, Dion? This is one of my students. Okay, yeah, I'm about to hop off here, y'all. Y'all got mad. Nikisha Nadi, hi, sweetheart. Yes, mad people, mad questions, but I'm not gonna be on here all day. So until next time, Ali signing out. SILEmyers.com. Look into the masterclass. If you want to up your psychic development, if you're not interested in that, I will have another masterclass in 2 weeks. This ain't gonna stop. So if you want to learn from me at affordable price, man, I'm telling. I can show you better. I can tell you. That's all I gotta say. Peace.